Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alright, so today I'm going to be smoking out of a Falcon Pipe for the first time, which is something I've been wanting to do for quite a while now, as I personally think that Falcon Pipes are really dang cool. But why exactly do I think Falcon Pipes are so cool? Well, to explain that, I first off need to explain what a Falcon Pipe actually is. So let's go ahead and explain that. And to help me explain, I have a piece of paper with me today, as I have a little bit more to say than not. But once again, what is a Falcon Pipe? Well, first created in 1936 by the American engineer Kenly Bugg with the goal of creating a pipe that smokes dry, Falcon Pipes are multi-piece articles with a metal humidome and stem. And at the bottom of the humidome, there are threads you can use with any exchangeable bowl that will fit. To put simply, this means that the moisture collects in the bottom of the humidome due to the different material, metal, being used, giving you a drier smoke. And it also means that you can switch your bowl for nearly any shape, size, or material that you may want, size and thread permitting, of course. Being able to exchange bowls, try new materials, and own a variety of different sizes, all while not spending a lot of money on new, more expensive pipes is a gimmick that I am a really big fan of. And from what I've heard, Falcon Pipes back up the gimmick by smoking fantastically. But since I've never actually smoked a Falcon Pipe before, I don't know how this experience is going to be. And so as such, I am very excited to have this experience for the first time today. But without further ado, let's go ahead and cover what the Falcon Pipe I purchased actually is, and let's talk about how much it cost me. Then after that, let's go ahead and go over the look of the pipe. Then let's get some tobacco in the bowl, actually get to smoking, and find out just how smoking out of a Falcon Pipe actually is for the first time, which, as said, is an experience that I am looking forward to having, much more so than not. But what is this Falcon Pipe right here? Well, it is not the classic Falcon Pipe, I will readily acknowledge. Instead, this is a twisted stem Falcon Pipe, which cost me... There's a squirrel in the gutters over there. This pipe cost me $29.76 to be precise. And the bowl on this pipe cost me an extra $25. So I am roughly $45 into this purchase right here. And overall, I think that this pipe looks fantastic. Due to the Falcon Pipes originally having been designed in the 1930s, they do have a more Art Deco design than not. And since I am personally a really big fan of Art Deco architecture and engineering as a whole, I think that this pipe looks fantastic, to say the least. The metal stem, the plastic mouthpiece, the briar bowl that I ended up purchasing, it all combines together to make a really good look, if you ask me, and a look that I am a huge fan of. We can see there is a little bit of a rod in the middle with two metal pieces kind of twisting around it just like that. On the classic Falcon Pipes, these two metal pieces just go straight into the humidome just like that. This metal piece, though, is where the smoke actually comes through, and then we can see that they all kind of combine together into more metal, and then it just goes to the plastic mouthpiece right here. On the plastic mouthpiece, we can see that there is a white Falcon logo right there, and on the bottom of the pipe, we can see it just says Made in England, Falcon just right there, or Falcon Made in England. I do suppose is the right way of saying it, because that's how it's organized on the pipe. In the humidome, there is a little bit of a notch just right there, a little bit of a hole with metal at the top, and it just says AN9 just right there. I don't know exactly what that says. And we can see the briar bowl that I ended up purchasing is just a very nice sort of flat black, and it's got a little bit of a black inside as well. Let's go ahead and take it off just real quick to showcase the gimmick of Falcon Pipes. The fact that you can actually take the bowl off. On the inside of the bowl, we can see a Falcon logo, and then it also says Falcon just right there as well. It is a little bit kind of rubbed off, so I don't know how well y'all can actually see that. It's very light, but it is there nonetheless. And on the inside of the bowl, we can see there is that sort of divot that we saw on the bottom as well. And there's also a little bit of what looks like a pipe cleaner, and that is essentially what it is. That is a Falcon bowl, like basically thing to make sure the moisture building up in the bowl doesn't get to be like too much or anything like that. This basically soaks up all the moisture that drips down from the smoke and whatnot. And this is part of what gives you a drier smoke. Of course, Falcon sells their own like bowl, moisture regulators and stuff like that, but some people make their own out of actual just normal pipe cleaners from what I've heard. And then we can see the smoke just goes through that bowl right there. Overall, I think Falcon pipes look really dang cool. I think the gimmick of being able to put basically any bowl that fits on a Falcon pipe is really cool as well. And overall, I am very happy with my purchase. I think this pipe just looks absolutely fantastic, if I do say so myself. Taking a look at the center of the bowl, we can see the metal piece right there, and that is essentially the bottom. There are some very small gaps at the very bottom, so the smoke can still come through, of course, but I'm hoping that no tobacco is able to make its way into, well, my mouth or into the stem to clog it or anything like that. Although, since I've never smoked out of a Falcon pipe before, I don't know if that's actually going to be the case or not. I hope we're not going to get any pull through, though, I will acknowledge. But that's pretty much all there is to the look of this pipe. Looks fantastic, very nice Art Deco styling, very, very, very cool looking pipes in my personal opinion that are very much that of a retro design, and a pipe that, for what it is, also isn't really all that much money, because this is metal. If you take care of it, it could very well last a lifetime. The mouthpiece might not, but you can get a new mouthpiece for I think like $3 more than likely, so that's not a big deal if the mouthpiece goes away or anything like that kind of thing. You just got to make sure you're able to get another one. Well, I do suppose now that I've covered the overall look of the pipe, and now that I've shown off the gimmick of the pipe and kind of explained everything a little bit more so than not, I should probably go ahead and grab the tobacco I am going to be using for this video today, and I should probably go ahead and get my pipe all filled up now, shouldn't I? But what is the tobacco I'm actually going to be smoking out of a Falcon pipe when I'm smoking out of a Falcon pipe for the first time? Well, what I've got with me today is some Newminster 400 pipe tobacco, which is a straight Virginia flake that is, well, technically owned by Villager, but was manufactured, I believe, by Mac Baren when they were still manufacturing tobaccos. Newminster as a brand, I don't know if it's still really a thing, but thankfully I do have some, and it's a pretty solid budget, I'd have to say, budget like bulk brand of pipe tobacco from what I've tried. I've tried 2 blends from Newminster so far, and I enjoyed them quite a bit, and I really like the Newminster 400, so I'm looking forward to having some of this today, I will readily acknowledge. Let's go ahead and get the lid of my mason jar all off, just like that. Smells fantastic, if I do say so myself. And oh, wait, 1 minute. I just realized I had something I completely forgot to show y'all. So with my pipe, I got a little bit of a slip as well, just talking about the Falcon pipe lineup and everything like that. Figured I'd go ahead and show this to you guys as well. Just if you guys are interested in more information, let me just make sure I can actually show everything to you guys. I covered up the website when I was just showing the front of it, but there's no more website on this side, so let's go ahead and just show off this side real quick. And if you guys just want to pause the video and take a look at this, feel free to do that. Taking a look at the other side, I've just got a cover. All right, I could just fold that back and not show that. And then we've got this one as well, which goes over like all of their different varieties and stuff like that kind of thing as well. And then taking a look, there's even more on the inside. Let's see, just want to make sure. Okay, I've just got to cover up this bit right here. So let's go ahead and just do that, and we can see all of the different bowls that Falcon makes. There are some other companies that make pipes that work, or not, sorry, no, they don't make pipes that work with Falcon pipes. They make bowls that work with Falcon pipes. Very cool stuff in my personal opinion. Let's go ahead and fold that back up, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the piece of paper I was reading off of, along with this piece of paper, in my backpack just real quick, just so it doesn't fly away or anything like that. Well, it's not super windy today. It is a little bit breezy, so I want to make sure those don't fly away. But now that I've gone ahead and covered that, let's go ahead and move my camera back just a little bit, just so y'all can actually see what I'm doing. So let's go ahead and open up my pipe tobacco once again. Got my check pipe tool with me today, and let's go ahead and just grab a little bit of the Newminster 400 all out of my mason jar, and I'm just going to go ahead and start just kind of, well, tearing it apart and whatnot, just getting it so it actually wants to fit in the bowl. And I'm just going to run it between my fingers just to break it up just even a little bit more than I had previously. I don't know how much tobacco is actually going to fit in this bowl, I will acknowledge. This might be a bit too much or it might be a bit too little, but I'm thinking I grabbed out right around the correct amount. We'll find out though, we'll find out. The bowl I ended up purchasing is certainly not the biggest by any means. They do make taller ones that are better for much longer smokes. This one, I believe, is meant for probably, I'd have to guess, anywhere from 20 to hour-long smokes, depending on the tobacco you are using. Let's go ahead and now start just filling up this bowl. I'm just going to fill it up like a normal pipe, as I don't know if there's any other methods you're supposed to use when you're filling up a Falcon pipe. I don't think there are. Let's just fill it up like I would a normal pipe, which basically just means I'm just going to fill it all the way up to the top, then compress it down, and then fill it up again, and then compress it down again. And I might have actually not grabbed enough tobacco. Alrighty, that's filled up just about to the top, as we can see. I'm just gonna press it down just very lightly, not too much by any means, just a very light press. And I'm gonna go ahead and put some more in the bowl. This is definitely fitting a bit more than I was expecting, I will acknowledge. And there we go, filled up once again. I'm just gonna press a little bit harder this time, just like that. Very easy to fill though, no complaints on my behalf about that, I will acknowledge. And one of the other things people said about Falcon Pipes that I like is that apparently you pretty much end up getting just ash at the end. Some of the pipes I have, which I really enjoy smoking out of, but some of the pipes I have, which I really enjoy smoking out of, one of my issues with them is that sometimes I'll be smoking them and then there'll always end up being just a little bit of tobacco at the bottom, and I can never manage to just smoke the whole bowl and feel like I really got my money's worth. Falcon Pipes, apparently, they're really good at making sure you get your money's worth, which is something I really do appreciate. But that should be all filled up. I'm gonna go ahead and put my pipe down on the table I'm sitting at, and I'm gonna go and just take the rest of the tobacco and put it back into my mason jar. Can't be wasting nothing, of course. From what I can tell, the amount of tobacco I grabbed out was just about perfect. I did not do that intentionally. That was by, not accident, but that was, well, definitely on purpose. Yes, absolutely on purpose. It definitely wasn't a coincidence. It was definitely on purpose. I absolutely knew what I was doing, even though I've never smoked out of a Falcon pipe before. Definitely, absolutely, 100%. Well, let's go ahead and get my tripod up just a little bit more now, and I do think, without further ado, y'all, now that the breeze has kind of calmed down just for this moment in time, I think it's as good a time as ever to go ahead and get my Falcon pipe all lit up and to go ahead and actually, well, get to smoking out of a Falcon pipe for the first time. So let's go ahead and get to it. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying. Right off the bat, airflow, perfectly fine. Nothing bad with the drawer airflow. I'm just kind of doing my starter lights right now, just trying to get the tobacco ready to do my official light on. definitely hearing a little bit of noise, and that noise seems to be coming from the humidome, from what I can tell. It seems I might have not packed my tobacco quite fully enough to get rid of any noise, so there does appear to be just a little bit of air coming in, making a little bit of just a noise because it's kind of wisping past everything and just hitting some stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and just pack it down real quick. I think that should do for a starter light, I do hope at least. I'm now gonna go ahead and do my official light. Yes sir, you know what I'm saying. And so far, so good. Smoking well so far. Although it has now gone out, I will acknowledge. So maybe not smoking well so far. It was smoking well just for a moment there, though. Let's go ahead and get it lit up once again. Now, I'm not very used to smoking unfiltered pipes. I generally smoke pipes with a 6mm Savinelli balsa wood filter. And just right off the bat, this is maybe coming across as being slightly more rough in the back of my throat. I'm not inhaling, but it's coming across as being maybe slightly more rough in the back of my throat than what I'm used to. Although, it very well could just be the fact that the smoke is drier. Ow. My nose is running just a little bit. Ignore me definitely not wiping my nose on my sleeve. Definitely not doing that. Man, yeah, my nose is really running. Oh man. I'm not sure why it's running so much. It's not even like cold out here. Excuse me. So far, though, very interesting. The smoke, it's definitely, I feel like, dry. It's definitely dry in my opinion. The taste I'm getting from the tobacco is fantastic. It's a very nice, sweet, citrusy, fruity, honey-like flavor overall. Yeah. Gotta admit, I might be liking this. It's a little bit different than what I'm used to. I've smoked out of a couple different briar pipes, but predominantly only really out of corn cobs. And this is definitely more comparable to a briar pipe when it comes to smoking than a corn cob in my personal opinion. But I don't think that's due to it being a Falcon pipe. I think it's due to the fact that this bowl is made out of briar. But some differences I'm noticing from other pipes I've smoked out of so far is that the smoke itself, while it's definitely, in my opinion, less tongue-bitey than the smoke from other pipes. If I was to smoke the same tobacco out of a different pipe, I feel like it would be a little bit more tongue-bitey. It's a little bit less tongue-bitey out of this pipe. However, it's kind of so dry where there's actually a little bit of roughness in there kind of thing. Not like hitting your tongue, not making your tongue feel bad. It's just like a little bit of roughness in like the back of your throat, even though I'm not inhaling, which is very interesting, I will acknowledge. Not bad, just something for me to get used to. But yeah, I think this pipe really is just so dang cool. I think it looks so dang cool. It's smoking well. I really do feel like I'm holding a piece of history in my hand right now. And to a very large extent, I actually am. Because I'm like, this pipe was first designed, maybe not this exact model of Falcon Pipes, but the concept of the Falcon Pipe and the first Falcon Pipe was made in 1936. So I'm basically holding a piece of 1930s engineering, pre-World War II engineering right now. Seems like it's overall burning the tobacco very evenly. There's no sort of unevenness from the burn, from what I can tell. If there was, though, I don't think I'd pin it on the pipe. I think I'd probably pin it on me. Yeah. Very nice. I definitely have to say, yeah, the smoke, now, it has been, I will acknowledge, it has been a couple weeks since the last time I smoked some pipe. Just simply because, well, the weather in my local area hasn't been the greatest this past couple weeks or so. It's been very cold, so cold where I don't really want to spend too long outside, and it, as well, has been very windy. Thankfully, today is quite nice, and it's not like super windy by any means, hence why I'm making this video today. But it hasn't been the greatest weather in my local area as of late. But I personally feel as if the smoke is a little bit drier than what I'm used to. I feel like, in an odd way, it's a little bit rougher in the back of my throat as well, because it is a little bit drier. Not bad, just different, just something for me to get used to. And then I also feel like I am getting a little bit of a flavor from the briar bowl being broken in. That's something I've noticed in the past with other pipes, whether they be corn cobs or briars. When you're smoking like the first 2-3 bowls, when you're breaking them in, they do tend to have just a little bit of a taste to them. Not a big surprise by any means, I will acknowledge. And I'm noticing that from this. But overall, besides me struggling to keep it lit a little bit more so than not, it's smoking well, the tobacco tastes great, and overall, it's doing its job. It's absolutely working with the gimmick. It's giving me drier smoke. The bowl can be removed. I could actually remove it mid-smoke if I actually wanted to. I'm not going to do that. I feel like that might not be very good for the bowl or for the pipe. So I'm not going to do that. But theoretically speaking, if I wanted to remove the bowl midway through the smoke and smoke something else or smoke a different bowl, I absolutely could. And I'm getting a very nice calming buzz. I haven't had any pipe smoke in the last couple weeks. I have really been wanting some, I'll acknowledge, and this is so nice. This is so nice. It's my first pipe smoke in a couple weeks. Like, don't get me wrong, this is not my first nicotine in a couple weeks. I've been smoking cigarettes, of course, every single day. But this is my first pipe smoke in a couple weeks, and man, this is so refreshing. This is so relaxing. I'm enjoying it. I do believe it has gone out. Now, one of the things I heard online about Falcon Pipes, some people's main complaint with them wasn't that they smoked bad or anything like that. It wasn't that they didn't do their job properly. It was that some people weren't a big fan of clenching them. They personally felt like they were too heavy to clench. I don't feel that way personally, I'll acknowledge. I don't really feel that way personally. Is this really heavier than a pipe that I'm used to clenching? No. It's probably about the same weight as something like, let's say, my Savinelli, Bing's Favorite, which is also a longer pipe. So it is actually a little bit harder to clench just due to the fact that the stem is longer. And that it also has a slight bend to it, so it kind of bends down and kind of pulls on my teeth just a little bit more. I really don't feel like this Falcon pipe, at least. They have curved ones as well. Those may be a different story, but this Falcon pipe, at least, I really don't feel like is particularly difficult to clench, and I absolutely think I could clench it for a decent period of time, smoke this pipe while I'm walking. I don't think it would be an issue, in all honesty. Although maybe I just haven't smoked out of any pipes that folks consider to be genuinely good clenchers quite yet. But yeah, I really don't think a Falcon pipe is particularly bad to clench by any means. Is it a little bit heavier? Is it maybe a little bit more difficult to clench than some lighter pipes out there? Of course, I'm sure it is. But is it hard to clench? No. No, it's not. Not in my opinion, at least. I know there's a cat over there. It's looking at me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really feel like Falcon Pipes are particularly hard to clench by any means. I don't feel like they are. It's just about normal for me. Although what I'm used to clenching is, these days, a Savin Ellie Bing's favorite, or a, like Missouri Meerschaum Country Gentleman, or something like that kind of thing. Both of which are slightly heavier than knot pipes. So it could just be that I'm used to clenching something a little bit heavier than knot, and so this being about the same weight doesn't really mean it's any harder or easier to clench to me than what I'm used to, just simply because what I'm used to is a bit heavier than knot. Now, in good news, so far, I'm not getting any pull-through, which is fantastic. And this pipe definitely lets you know when you need to pack it down as well. And the reason why I say that is simply because with how this pipe is made, when the pipe becomes, or when the tobacco in the pipe becomes a little bit loose, or when it needs to be packed down, air will start rushing down, and you start hearing a little bit of air in the bowl and in the humidome itself, kind of rushing into the tube down here. You can actually hear it audibly. And I'm going to start using that as a cue to tamp it down. And that seemed to work perfectly well when I just tamped it down. I heard that noise and I was like, oh, I should probably tamp it down. And I did just that. And it certainly did need to be tamped down at that point, I will acknowledge. Overall, so far, yeah, I'd have to say Falcon Pipes smoke pretty well. I'm enjoying smoking it. How the smoke comes across to me, as somebody who is used to corncob pipes and briar pipes, is definitely a little bit different, just due to, well, how the pipe is designed and made and what it's meant to do. But it's smoking well, it's doing its job. I'm getting a very nice taste of tobacco in my mouth. I got no complaints on my behalf. I really got no complaints. Yeah. Overall, I gotta admit, I am enjoying smoking out of a Falcon pipe for the first time today. That is for sure. And I think before the sun goes down any more than it already has, I should probably go ahead and grab myself a little bit of a screenshot for the thumbnail of this video. So let's do that real quick. Very cool stuff, very cool stuff. Hopefully one of those will do. We will find out. I'm just currently nursing it back to health. Thought I was going to have to relight it, but seems like I might be able to get it back. And so far, I'm personally feeling like smoking out of a Falcon Pipe is quite easy. Just as easy as smoking out of a corn cob, in my personal opinion. Definitely some briar pipes, depends on the briar pipes, but some briar pipes can be a little bit harder to smoke out of, just due to how the bowl is shaped on the inside and whatnot. And so it can be a little bit more difficult to pack. But generally speaking, corncob pipes are very easy to pack and very easy to smoke out of due to that. Same with Falcon pipes, in my opinion. Took a minute for me to get used to, kind of how to smoke it and whatnot. But overall, I'm personally feeling like very easy to pack, very easy to smoke, just as easy to smoke as something like, let's say, a corn cob, and just as easy as some briar pipes as well, but not all by any means. Yeah. Overall, smoking well if you ask me, smoking good if you ask me. No complaints on my behalf. I think it would be really interesting to see like a Falcon pipe, because they could just make this stem basically as long as they wanted, as long as they had the metal mold for it, because I assume it's just cast. I assume it's basically like just cast stainless steel or something like that kind of thing. Or I'm not exactly sure. Actually, does it say stainless? No, it doesn't. It doesn't say exactly what the metal this uses is. I'm not exactly sure. I'll acknowledge. I know it's metal though. But they could make this as long as they wanted. I think it'd be really interesting to have one out to like here, just because I think it would be funny. Although that would probably mean that they'd have to make a whole new mold, everything like that kind of thing. They'd have to figure out whether the mold works and whatnot. There'd be a lot of R&D in that, I do suppose, definitely more than something like, let's say, a briar pipe, because a briar pipe you can just be like, okay, I just need a bigger piece of wood now. With this, it's not quite the same as, okay, I just need a bigger piece of metal. It's a little bit different. There have been some other pipes over the years that have used a very similar concept as Falcon pipes, with exchangeable bowls and whatnot. But Falcon pipe, in my opinion, Falcon pipes are, in my opinion, still the most iconic ones. Now I am noticing a little bit of smoke coming out of here. I'm not sure if that means I didn't put the bowl on properly, or if that's just normal for Falcon pipes. I really don't know, in all honesty, but I did notice a little bit of smoke just kind of creeping out over here, I will acknowledge. I assume it's not a perfect seal. Might be a perfect seal for liquid, as, of course, liquids are not air. But air is a lot harder to have a perfect seal on, and I would imagine that this is probably good enough to stop air coming in, but maybe not air coming out. I'm not sure, though. Could just be my eyes deceiving me, but I'm pretty sure there's some smoke coming out from right about there, I'll acknowledge. Overall, though, I'm enjoying myself, yeah. Falcon Pipes, there's not like an insane amount of things to say, I'll acknowledge. This is smoking not unlike a different pipe normally smokes. There's some minor differences, but it's nothing like insanely groundbreaking. It's nothing insane. And I think that's really what has made Falcon Pipes successful over the years. It's just slightly different, and I can see how a Falcon Pipe smokes might be to somebody's preference and how they might prefer it over other pipes, I will acknowledge. But I can also see how some people may prefer other pipes. Either way, though, very easy to smoke out of, for sure, without a doubt. Good smoker. And also a pipe that looks really cool, really unique, especially these days in my personal opinion. And one that I just enjoy a little bit more so than not, without a doubt. I think I can say for sure that I do indeed enjoy smoking out of Falcon Pipes. And it doesn't really seem to be getting particularly hot either. I'm not really feeling a lot of heat by any means. Now, I'm not smoking super fast today, so that very well could be why, but I also read online that some people were saying that Falcon Pipes heated up a lot. I'm not really noticing that. In all honesty. Maybe it's just simply because it's not really a super hot day today. If it was hot, if I left this in the sun, I'm sure it would be smoking a lot hotter. But it's really not, in my personal opinion. Not right now, at least. Not today. Went ahead and turned on the lights out here. I'm not quite done with my bowl yet, I will acknowledge, so I'm certainly expecting this to continue smoking for some time. And I do think that it does need to be relit. So I'm gonna go and do that real quick. Might grab, though, I know I just turned the lights on and I just got up. I need to go get my jacket, though. It's getting a bit chilly out here, so I'm gonna go do that, too. Got my jacket. Feeling a little bit warmer now. I'm gonna go and just zip it up just a little bit. And then I'm gonna go and get my pipe all lit up once again. Overall, though, you know, based off what I've said? No. Overall, Falcon Pipes, you know, pretty based in my personal opinion. Like, actually, I didn't mean to say based. I said that by mistake, but it's not wrong. But other than what I've already said, there's really not too much to say. It's a pipe that works, is a little bit different. The smoke is a little bit drier. There's a little bit of different roughness in there, in my opinion. But I'm definitely feeling like I'm getting less tongue bite from, and granted, the Newminster 400 is not like insanely tongue bitey tobacco by any means, even though it is a straight Virginia, but I do feel like I'm getting less tongue bite from this pipe than I would from others that I have in my possession. Easy to smoke out of, drier smoke. I like the exchangeable bowls, say that without a doubt, and it seems to be working really well. Yeah. I'm liking my Falcon Pipe, I will acknowledge. I'm liking my Falcon Pipe. And also, smokes very slowly. Smokes very slowly without a doubt. Now granted, I haven't been smoking super quickly today, but definitely a much slower smoke than not. Slower than I was expecting because the bowl is really not exorbitantly big. Makes me very glad I decided not to buy one of the chimney style ones, I will acknowledge. Because I think one of the chimney style ones might have been a bit too much. But might be interesting to make a video on smoking out of a chimney style pipe or chimney style pipe bowl eventually. So maybe I'll pick one up and see how that is and see how long that smoke is, I will acknowledge. My nose, though, my nose is runny today. I'm gonna go over here. My nose is runny, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know why, but it is. We ball, though, we ball. Feels nice out here. I got a nice buzz going. Man, I'm feeling good. It's really nice. Birds chirping. It's a good time. Now, one thing I am very curious to see is at the end of the bowl, how much, like, liquid is going to be inside the humidome, and how much the Falcon sort of moisture regulator will have soaked up as well. From what I've heard, the way you clean Falcon pipes is you just take a paper towel and then you just swab the inside of the bowl itself, and then you run a pipe cleaner through like normal, and that's really all there is to it. Just kind of sitting back, relaxing, enjoying myself. I ain't gonna lie, that is for sure. Trying to get my water open again, if I can. There we go. Yeah, no. Feels nice out here though. Got a nice buzz going, feeling very relaxed right now, just chilling, just having a good time, I ain't gonna lie. Pipe is smoking well. I ain't got no complaints on my behalf. And I'll acknowledge I really don't have too much to say. It's just smoking well, it's doing its job. Smoke coming through is dry. Smoking easy as well. Give me a nice buzz, give me a nice taste from the tobacco. Ooh, no complaints on my behalf. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. Now, I've read online that Falcons are really good travel pipes. And that's simply due to the fact that you can just bring one stem and many bowls without needing to carry many different pipes. And that to me makes a lot of sense. If I end up really enjoying smoking out of this pipe a lot in the future, I feel like I got a burp. Maybe not. Maybe I got a yawn instead. Oh man. Excuse me. But if I end up continuing to enjoy smoking out of this pipe, a Falcon pipe, in the future, it very well might become my travel pipe for that reason, because I can order one other bowl that's like a different size, and I can then take that with me and only have to worry about one pipe with, and it has a couple different bowls rather than two pipes with like two different bowls kind of thing. Yeah. So I can decide how long I want to have my smoke for. That's a concept I really like, and I can see why Falcon pipes might be really good travel pipes, and I could definitely see myself traveling with a Falcon pipe in the future, I'll acknowledge. There's a really good, just like, I feel like working pipe as well. Like, I definitely don't feel quite as bold with this pipe as something like, let's say, a corn cob. If I drop a corn cob on the ground, it's probably going to be okay. If it's not okay, it's going to cost me 10 bucks to get another. I am a little bit afraid of kind of scratching this pipe, especially if I was to drop it onto, like, let's say, concrete, or maybe denting it, or cracking the briar bowl, or something like that. But I'm less so worried about dropping this pipe than I am about dropping, like, let's say, my Briar Savinelli, which cost me like 150 bucks. A lot of it is also due to price, but a lot of it is also due to the fact that this is made of metal rather than be made of briar. So while I am a little bit worried about the bowl itself, the pipe itself, I'm not terribly worried about breaking, because I think it would be probably pretty hard to break, in all honesty. Excuse me. There's some robins on the fence, chirping away. They're just kind of making noises. I'm just kind of watching them fly around and whatnot. I'm chilling. As I'm sure you guys can tell, I'm just chilling. We are around about, what is this, probably 45 minutes into smoke now, I want to say. And it's only looking like I'm halfway through the bowl. This is smoking very slowly, much slower than I was expecting. I did not expect it to smoke this slowly, I will readily acknowledge. Wow. Excuse me. It is starting to get a bit chilly out here, so I might give it just a couple more minutes and then just dump out the bowl. I've been enjoying myself, I'll acknowledge, but I don't want to let this go for too long. I say as we're already an hour into the video. But I might just smoke for another couple minutes, dump out the bowl, and just see what the inside of the humidome looks like and whatnot, as I'm curious to find out. But I think my plan for, well, this pipe, well, this bowl in specific, one of the good things about Falcons as well is that you can use different tobaccos with different bowls. So if you want to have an English, if you would normally have a pipe dedicated to, like, let's say English blends and one dedicated to straight Virginias, what you can do with a Falcon pipe is you can just have one bowl dedicated to Englishes and one bowl dedicated to, well, straight Virginias and everything like that kind of thing, which I think is really cool. I'm thinking this is probably going to be, at least this bowl is probably going to be kind of an almost anything type of bowl, where I'm smoking straight Virginias, Virginia Burleys, Burley, stuff like that, out of this bowl and out of this pipe, with the exception of heavy aromatics and blends containing Latakia. But it has now gone out. I think I'm probably just going to leave it at that, in all honesty. I'm going to go and grab my ashtray. And I'm just going to see how much tobacco is left. See if it was all dust or if there really was tobacco left. And yes, there certainly was tobacco left, as I had been expecting. That's not a terribly big surprise, I will acknowledge. And there was a decent chunk of tobacco left. I feel a little bit bad about having wasted that tobacco, but it is what it is. I didn't really have enough to say for the next 45 minutes, which is probably what it would have taken me to smoke my way through the rest of the bowl. This bowl, it is deceptively large, I do suppose. Let's go ahead and get it off, though. Just like that. And we can see there's a little bit of tobacco kind of stuck to the inside of the bowl right there. I'm going to go and get that off real quick. Go and just kind of circle that out. Get all that off. And that's very moist. Wow, that is very, very, very moist tobacco. Oh my goodness. That is essentially just wet. Wow. So yeah, I think you definitely want to not only kind of try to swab the humidor, but also maybe just the inside hole of the briar bowl itself right there as well. Just putting that down on the table. Taking a look at the inside of the bowl, we can see it's got some moisture in it. I don't know if you guys can actually see it on camera, but I can see it. There's definitely moisture that has built up in the bottom of the bowl. It's not like per se like a puddle by any means, but there certainly is moisture in there. Let's go ahead and just get this all out. I've heard you can use these like 2 or 3 times, but I'm just gonna dump it just for the time being. And I will swab this out. I will swab this out in a moment. I don't have any paper towels with me, so I'm gonna end the video and then swab it out. But yeah, overall, I gotta admit, I do think I like Falcon Pipes. I really like the concept of them. I think they're very cool stuff. The gimmicks of Falcon Pipes seem to work very well. Not only was the smoke quite dry, and not only did I really not get any tongue bite at all, but also the exchangeable bowl worked fantastically. No complaints on my behalf about that. I will readily acknowledge. Definitely a concept I really like. I love the idea of having exchangeable bowls, and Falcon Pipes seem to do it very well. So it's something that I do indeed appreciate, I will acknowledge. The bowl itself that I had, deceptively large, or maybe it's just that the Newminster 400 pipe tobacco was smoking very slowly today. Maybe I packed it a bit too tight, I will acknowledge. I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't have packed it that tight. But you can certainly get very long smokes out of a Falcon bowl of even this size if you're using a slower smoking than not flake tobacco. If I was smoking Prince Albert or something like that, I do think it would have probably been more like a 20-minute smoke today, I'll acknowledge. But either way, I had a great experience. I can confirm after having smoked out of a Falcon pipe that I enjoy smoking out of Falcon pipes. And I can definitely see myself smoking out of my Falcon pipe a lot more in the future. And if I continue to enjoy smoking out of a Falcon pipe as much as I've enjoyed smoking out of it today, I can most certainly see myself using this as my travel pipe. It's a very convenient pipe to travel with, especially if I get another bowl for it, I imagine at least. in Suez, which I can definitely see myself using this as a travel pipe, and I would not mind doing that by any means. Overall, smokes well, gimmicks work very well. I got no complaints on my behalf. I like my Falcon pipe. I'm a fan of it, and I'm looking forward to smoking out of it a lot more in the future, I will readily acknowledge. I think that is just about all I had to say for this video today. Falcon pipes, I can confirm, are really cool, and they smoke really well, and I'm very happy that I can confirm that. I'm not surprised that I'm confirming this by any means, as, well, I've heard really good things about Falcon pipes in the past, but very thankful to have confirmed it for myself now by trying it for the first time, and yeah, very glad to have given a go to a Falcon pipe. No complaints on my behalf, I will readily acknowledge. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have ever tried a Falcon pipe before. If you guys have, what do you guys think of them? Do you guys like them? Do you guys not? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys haven't ever tried a Falcon pipe, what do you guys think of them? What do you guys think of the gimmicks based off this one experience at least? Is it something new you've never heard of, or is it something you've heard of but aren't interested in? I'm curious to find out. Let me know what you guys think of Falcon pipes in the comments down below in general. Overall, I like them, I'll acknowledge, based on this one experience at least. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you guys have enjoyed watching this video, of course, please make sure to, well, like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. Box, and my other channels all in the description down below. Go check them all out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Till the next one, stay safe in peace and have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?